Today we're going to be doing arts and crafts on a tyre. So guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, as you can see from the title above, we're going to try and tyre paint the truck. Now, one of the things that I've been trying to do for ages is find a relatively cheap version of what you see online. You know, you see the people with the TYRE and stuff, and you ask them how much the actual custom tyre stickers are for tyres, and they go into the hundreds of pounds, buying them from America, all various places. You can get them online sub £100, you know, £80, £90, but that's still a lot of money to be putting into what is basically a sticker on a tyre. So the guys at Total Tyre Paints sent down their kit for me to try today. Now, this isn't sponsored, this isn't you know, paid for content whatsoever. They just saw that I wanted to do something like this to the truck, and they sent down their kit to let me try today. So I'm going to take you guys with me. I'm no professional, as I say in every video. We're just going to see what this stuff is like, see if we can get a good result from the paint. And I've also bought something off eBay, a sort of tyre stencil that we can stick onto the tyre and see how it goes. Now, first off, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I've bought. Now, Total Tyre Paints have actually set down their kit, so this is what you would get in one of their kits. Again, this isn't sponsored, paid for, whatever. They just wanted to send down one of their kits for me to try as someone starts a mower in the background. As you can see, it's a lovely day in the UK at the moment, so everybody is in fact out mowing, apparently. Anyway, we're going to get back to this. So we've got some tyre cleaning solution to actually get the tyres nice and clean with a brush. So as you can see, I've actually already had a little play with this just to make sure I know what I'm doing before I put the camera on me. Again, this isn't a how-to whatsoever. This is just showing you guys what I found, and you know, maybe a cheap option for you to actually tyre paint your tyres. So in the kit you get a tyre cleaner solution, you get a brush to clean the tyre with, something to wipe it back with, you get a couple of small and big brushes, and you get the tyre paint in a little pot. Now, this is what you get in the kit, but separately I've actually bought these off of eBay. They were $14.99 posted with any sort of size you wanted. So I went with a generic size on a 15-inch wheel. I sort of gave the guy my tyre size, and he sent over these, which are FYD Apparel, obviously, because that is my brand, so that's what I wanted to go with. And they should sort of accommodate the size tyre that I have. I have large tyres on this truck, so I wanted to go with something that could go sort of in here, if that makes any sense. So to sort of go over the original tyre writing that you would get obviously on a standard tyre, but I'm going to try and use as much space as I can, like this sort of space here, or maybe this space down here, but we will see. See, I'm not sure if this stuff actually works. We're going to have a go today. This stuff I know is really good. I've seen a couple of people use it in the past. Don't know about the stencil sort of stuff. I was going to make my own stencil, but this was just sort of a cheaper, more easier, accessible way for people to actually buy. As a package, you could buy this relatively cheap, so I wanted to give this a go before I actually made a custom stencil. I think giving someone else your tyre sizes and actually getting the sizes is probably key with the stencil, but we'll see how all of this goes today. Ride or die. Now, sorry about the position. That's the only position I can get where the sunlight is actually sort of on a tyre. I hope you guys can actually see this properly, but basically we've got a, what size is she? 225 70/15 on the front of the truck. It is something that I'm going to replace in a few months time, you know, maybe 6 months time, the wheels and tyre package on this. So this isn't going to be forever. This isn't to, you know, long lasting, trying to make it last as long as possible. This is just me trying to have fun with a product and something that I have with me. You know, these tyres are relatively cheap, although they are Bridgestones. Whew. We'll see what we can get out of this stuff though. So we'll start cleaning it down to start with the tyre cleaner solution. Look at that. I'll have a look, see how it comes out. Now, I'm not saying this is the method you should use with, you know, spraying and cleaning the tyre off and then wiping it off, but this is the option that I have today basically, so we're going to go with this. And it does a very good job, that stuff. This has actually got some tyre shine on it from when I cleaned the truck last, so it is actually getting the tyre shine off, which is quite nice. Obviously you want the tyre shine off if you are going to do this. So yeah, I've tried to pick a part of the tyre that has no real wording on it. The wording on these tyres are quite big, unfortunately. Obviously if you have different tyres to this, they might be smaller sidewalls with smaller writing, so you'll get away with a little bit more contact patch with the actual sticker that I'm about to put on. Yeah, just make sure that's nice and clean. Again, this is not a how-to. I hope everyone is having a lovely time. I'm actually shooting this before what I believe to us be quarantined or on lockdown, so I hope you're all enjoying your lockdown. I'm trying to produce as much content as possible beforehand, just to keep you guys entertained and myself entertained at the same time. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, and hopefully this goes well too. Although I may cock some bits up, I will admit I'm no professional. I will try my best to give both this product and the tyre stuff a chance at working. Let's try and get that sort of in between the writing there nicely. What I'll probably do is try and stick it down as much as possible and then ease it off with the actual backing sticker. Again, this is just vinyl, really thick vinyl, very good, but it is just vinyl that's been cut to pretty much the exact size I wanted for the tyre. So again, this was 15 quid, and depending on how much actual tyre paint and brushes and everything you want, this is a very cheap way of doing this. Right, quite happy with how much that's smoothed down. Obviously I have to go over a couple of the already there raised parts on this tyre, because that's just one of those things. You'll probably encounter the same thing if you were going to do this to your car. So yeah, not too bad, just smoothing down all of the bits. Cleaning the tyre is key, don't get me wrong, and it is quite hard to actually get this vinyl to stick, although it's doing a very good job. I'm actually quite impressed with how well this vinyl is sticking to the tyre, but it's just making sure it's all smoothed down properly, making sure that obviously with the A's and the P's there's little bits of vinyl in there to actually show letter is, but that's not too bad. Let's start painting, shall we? It's sort of like arts and crafts with Jamie FYD today. We'll start with the L at the top, because L's are relatively easy. I'm not going to put too much paint on the actual brush. Just try and go over it a couple of times, I think is key. There is actual grooves in the tile wall as well, so I'm just going to try and work with them to actually get the paint to work into those areas. Not bad. Again, what I'm trying to do is like smooth down into the little bits and bobs, so I go around where the vinyl's cut, if that makes sense. So finishing that off, not too bad. Just trying to go in all the grooves. Again, as I've just said, there's sort of a lining on this, so you have to really get the paint actually into those grooves and stuff to make it work, but quite happy with that. What we're going to do is we're going to go on to the back and do the back one, and then come back to the front and see if I want to put any more paint on it. I don't know how many layers you're really supposed to put on this, so we'll see once I've done the back. So I've left it around half an hour, and I've actually gone over all of the decals again, just trying to fill in all of the little bits and bobs that I may have missed. Just go around and show you guys. Again, leaving it half an hour, that was sort of just off the top of my head more than anything. They're sort of sat in the sun, so it should give them enough time to dry. So yeah, not too bad. We'll see how good it actually looks in a second. Give it another half an hour maybe of drying. We'll see how good they get. As the camera adjusts, it is an hour later now. I'm going to go through exactly what sort of happened. Now, the main thing to point out is that the paint itself is actually very good. It's really rubbery, so you can actually move it around if needs be. Now, the problem that I found, and you guys need to not do this, is buy the sticker off eBay thing. Basically, it does not cut the text as well as I wanted it to, which is a bit of a shame. So from here, I'm actually genuinely very happy. It looks really good. I actually did this because I'm changing the tyres, so it was more of a trial more than anything. Excuses out of the way, and everyone's going to blast me in the comment section. It's all good. The tyre size is well out, the print size is well out again, but super happy with how the actual writing has come out. The rubberiness to the actual paint is really, really good. Very impressed still with how it looks. Let's just go around this side, show you guys this side. I'm still mega happy with that. I think it looks pretty good. Again, a lot of the actual letters have come out a little bit runny, I think, because of that actual stencil. I'd probably go back, if I was to ever do this again, and try and do a little bit of a better stencil. You can see here the stencil didn't quite take to the F and the Y. I'll come around this side, show you guys this bit. Yeah, it's not too bad. The rear tyres especially, because again, they've got a lot of deep grooves in them. It's actually quite a lot harder to get the paint in where you want it to. I'm happy with how the fronts have come out though. It does look pretty good. I am actually really impressed with the final result after like a couple of hours doing this. So 2 things to point out. Obviously, I do try and tell you guys as much as I can. You can beat me in the comments as much as you like. Main thing is trial and error on stuff like this. So I'd definitely go for the tyre paint. Very, very good. The actual stencil itself, not so good. It doesn't cut the lines as much as you want it to. And if your tyre surface especially isn't like this, where it's a lot smoother, although it's still got some gradient in it, if it's like this, I would say steer clear of that actual vinyl text. It doesn't come out as well as you want it to, which is a little bit annoying. It doesn't cut the actual letters as well as it does on the front. I'm happy with how that looks. I'm happy with how the front looks. Especially, again, trial and error is key on stuff like this, because I want to change the tyres. I wanted to do it on the old tyres. So I'm actually quite happy. As someone's horn is going off in the background of the video, that's no good, is it? Again, this car isn't perfection. At the end of the day, I'm not after perfect. I'm after sort of rustic, cool, old school graphics. And even on the tyres as well, I was sort of after a little bit of a splattered feel, I suppose. Yeah, I think the key things to take away from this video are: 1, the tyre paint is incredibly good, rubbery, sets really quickly, half an hour dry time, which is pretty good. The actual stencil itself, something that I'd probably want to make out of something else next time, or I would just change my tyres, maybe look at some tyres that have got a smoother sidewall, so you'd actually be able to put some proper tyre paint on the tyres. So again, a mega cheap mod that anybody can do, but make sure you like the video. Please leave a comment below, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all on the next one.